Welcome to Football Manager 2024. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 teams that you could manage in beta to get your feet wet, dip your toe in the water of the new game and just learn the features before the full release. Now, I'm going to pick teams which you can have a couple of seasons with and just have some fun. Maybe win a title you've not won in a few years. Maybe get to manage Messi. It's a spoiler on one of the teams. But you can decide. Make sure you do comment below. Let me know who you are managing in beta. But also go down and comment what team you are going to manage as your main save in FM24. Now, if you are new to the channel, I would very much appreciate if you can go down and drop a subscribe on the channel. It's free to do so. And it does mean you won't miss any of my content going into FM24, be it hints and tips, experiments, or my Let's Play series. On this channel, I do try to make sure the Let's Play series is the main focus of the channel. And I'm excited for FM24 to get back into creating the content. I've had a few weeks off from Football Manager. We had a really successful run in FM23, but I'm excited to get in to FM24 now. And just quickly, you can see my green screen is gone and I've gone with just a circle box instead. The circle box is because I record in the living room, living in a small apartment with my wife and 2 kids. The green screen's gone because it was always a bit bitty, a bit blurry, etc. And it was starting to annoy me, so I'd rather you saw the crisp picture of my egghead. And yeah, I've cut out the rest because if my wife sat on the sofa, you don't want to be looking at her in the background. She's way too pretty. You'll forget to focus on the game. So I did give you a spoiler, but my first team to recommend for beta is Inter Miami. Now, I've loaded this game up on the 9th of January 2023, the start of the season. I've loaded the option where all of the players are there when you start. So when we start, we do have Lionel Messi at the club. Now, the reason I would want to do Miami for beta is because I normally do low league clubs, Road to Glories, Build a Nation, which means I never get to manage Messi. So these type of mini saves might be the only opportunity you get to take control of the greatest footballer ever, in my opinion. So comment below if you disagree. Do you have a player you think is the greatest footballer ever? Comment that below. Yeah, just so you know, John Joe Shelby doesn't count, so don't put him in. But Inter Miami, you have Lionel Messi. And if we go into the squad side of things, think about this. Go on age-wise. Best way to do it, isn't it? You have Busquets. You have Jordi Alba as well. They have an insanely good team as well. You have Josef Martinez, who at Atlanta United was an absolute goal machine and will still do a job for you, especially if you can find a place for Messi behind him or to the side. He will provide a lot of assists. Martinez can get you the goals. I mean, I'm not saying Messi won't get you goals. Financially, they do have 123 million in the bank. You have 2 million to spend. Let's be honest here. In the MLS, nobody understands how the money works. So to think of beta as a chance for you to learn how all of that works as well. Now, in terms of what's expected for you, you are expected to grow the club's reputation, build a new stadium. So make sure you do turn up with your bucket and spade, which sounds like I'm telling you to go to the beach. You're expected to reach the MLS playoffs, win the Supporters' Shield, and be competitive in the US Cup. So if we go to competitions. Right, this says reach wildcard. Now, before I started recording, I had a quick check. I did have to go and try to work out what that even meant. I have worked it out. So if you go to rules, Supporters' Shield, nope, group stage, you can see wildcard looks like it's... I think it means everyone gets a wild card or something. I think it basically means you qualify for the playoffs, okay? So, go and qualify for the playoffs. Now, the issue there is, so what they're saying is you could finish 9th and they'd be happy, okay? But they're also saying you go win the Supporters' Shield, which is basically the whole thing put together. If you come 9th in your league, you've definitely not won the Supporters' Shield. So, a little bit confused on Football Manager. But challenge accepted, I guess. So the next team I'm going to recommend is Leicester City. A chance to maybe start higher up and push into that Premier League and spend big. This is a 3 or 4 season save, I think, where when you get into the Premier League, you've got that money to splash around. Now, the reason I'm calling this a fun save is season 1. No, we don't need an induction into the squad. But thank you for asking, Football Manager. When you look at the squad, they've got a squad which can easily dominate the Championship, which means season 1, you get to learn Football Manager without too much stress. They have some good players. Dennis Pratt, for example, I'm on straight away. Dewsbury Hall. Jamie Vardy's there. As long as you can control his wife, he should do quite well for you. Connor Cody's obviously signed for them. Vestergaard, you've got Harry Sutter, so you can go to 3 at the back maybe. Easily good enough. Go on the competition side, you are expected to only reach the playoffs as well. Reach the playoffs. That's a top 6. Top 6 with a team which you should easily win the league with, in my opinion. Now, if you go to the club vision, you're expected to work within your wage budget. You are expected to expand the stadium as well. I just love the fact it's reached the playoffs. I love that. Now, you have 108 million in the bank. You have nothing to spend, and you are spending your wage bill, but you've got some players who you could probably look at moving on. If we go on to the transfer side here, you've got some players here. Ian Acho's valued almost at 30 million. Ndidi's valued at 21. Pereira at 19. White Vice, the young Belgian defender we forgot to mention, actually. He's probably one of the best defenders they've got. So definitely 3 at the back for them. But there's money available from sales to strengthen the squad where you want to strengthen it. I think you could take these far. Honestly, I think a promotion of the Premier League is doable, season 1. Then the squad, in my opinion, is good enough to stay in the league, which means anyone you add is just making them better and better. Challenge accepted. So we're heading over to the Netherlands and Groningen, who I can't pronounce, so I apologise if it sounds wrong. So they've been relegated. After many, many years in the top flight, they've been relegated. They are now in the 2nd tier of Dutch football. Now, if we're going to the club vision, you are expected to finish in the top 2 places. But in my opinion, this is another one like Leicester. Easily good enough season 1, which just gives you a chance to get your feet under that table, settle down, learn the game before you can have a great second season back in the top flight of Dutch football and seeing what you can achieve. You are expected to work within the wage budget. If we go on the finances, you've got 5 million in the bank, just under 1 million to spend, and you are bang on the wage budget, so you've got to maybe move things around a little bit to add a bit of depth to the squad. Now, in terms of the squad, they've got some good players. Hove, who I do know from Norway, is a very talented player. Comes from Strømsgodset, and honestly is way too good for the 2nd tier of Dutch football. Player out on loan there, but then you've got this Balker right back, who is a very, very good player, can play centre back, and 6'4" is probably his best position. But like I say, Groningen is a team who you can take charge of and get your feet under the table season 1, because you're gonna walk the league, in my opinion. Get yourself up to the top flight and then see what you can do. Top 2 places do automatically go up as well, so get in them spots and be successful. So this is one that interests me. Back in the day, early 2000s, me and my friends would always do a save with Basel 5, 6, 7 seasons before, as a younger man, you got a bit bored. You moved on to the next team. But Basel have gone from being a dominant force from 2009, 2010, all the way to 2016, 17, to not winning the league for a few years now and finishing in 5th place last year. They are a club on decline, but you have European football. You're in the Conference League, so you get to play in Europe season 1. If we go on to the club vision, you can see you're only expected to qualify for the Europa League, which is a top 3 spot. Now, in my opinion, yes, they are a club on the way down in real life. They're actually very, very poor this year in the league. I think they bottom of the league or second bottom at the minute in real life. Challenge accepted. But in my opinion, this is a club you can easily come third with. But you can build, develop, and have a good 4 or 5 seasons with these. Maybe take them a few weeks into the full game before you move on to your main save. It could be a very, very interesting prospect. They've been known for developing young players. They've been known for having a good youth system. Use it. See what you can do. You do have 3.6 million in the bank. You do have 2.5 million to spend and money on the wage bill still. So there is the ability there with this club. But in my opinion, they've got so many young talent as well that you've got to give it a go. Go away, Football Manager. You know, when you start a new game, it suggests things. But when you go onto the development centres, people know from previous games, you get first team candidates. Look at the amount they're suggesting. It's just crazy. The top one, I mean, very talented player. 16 years old. He could develop into a good player. 100%. He just looks insane already. Second one down. 15 years old. 6'2" already. I mean, I think I'm convincing myself who my beta save's going to be. Wow. Wow is what you say when you look at that player. He's already been capped 2 appearances for Basel already. He's only 15. He's only 15. We don't even need to look at the first team squad. This is where it is. This screen here. What a youth team this has. Honestly, it could be an insanely exciting challenge to take over Basel. Insanely exciting. Finally, I've picked Borussia Dortmund. Now, a massive club. You're playing in the Champions League. You're probably going to finish top 4 guaranteed. The challenge is, when you go into the Bundesliga, Dortmund were the last team to beat Bayern to the title in 2011-2012. So your challenge is to do it again. Bayern have just dominated German football, and it's about time someone took over them. Your chance is now in beta with Dortmund. Now, in first season, you are expected to qualify for the Champions League, but that means a top 4 place. So again, gives you a season to get your feet under the table and learn Football Manager, in my opinion. You're expected to challenge for the Pokal, the German Cup, and you're expected to reach the knockout stages of the Champions League. Now again, I think that is something that is very achievable. I think knockout stages should be what you should be aiming for with Dortmund. So 100% doable. Easy save, in my opinion. Get your feet under the table and see what you can do. Financially, you have 18.9 million in the bank. That's only going to go up, by the way, with all the money from Champions League, etc. coming in. 8.5 million on transfer budget. And you do have about 50k on the wage budget, but you can move some around and move players on if you need to. And one of the players, obviously, we are going to just mention is the fact that you do have Makoko up top, who just looks insane. 18 years old, German international, just a top player. And in my opinion, it's about time you stop these second place finishers and brought them a first place again. Your media prediction is second. Maybe season 1 you're not going to do it. Maybe season 2 you might not win the league. But I think give yourself 3 seasons. You can overthrow Bayern Munich and move on to your main save in Football Manager with that confidence you've built from managing Borussia Dortmund and making memories. Being league champions, potentially, of Germany is something really cool to look back on. But that's our 5 teams. So if we look at the list up on top right here, we had Inter Miami, we had Leicester, Groningen, Basel, who I think I'm going to go with, and Borussia Dortmund. Comment below if any of them interest you for a little mini save on beta. Thank you for watching. Join me probably tomorrow, I think, where I'm going to release 5 teams to manage who are hard beta save challenges for you dedicated FM players who just want the pain. I've been Paul, also known as the Northman. I'll see you next time.